and welcome to Your Region This Week. I'm Anandi Carol Woolery. It's been a jam-packed week, so let's get into it. Last weekend, Auburn Developments announced the name of their new development moving into the former Schneider's grounds on Cortlandt Avenue in Kitchener. The name was chosen as part of a submission contest on the company's website. We spoke with the president of the development about the decision.
Well, it was scary concept, but we really wanted to involve the community some way in the development. We all have to be here for a long time. We wanted to start that interaction and involvement together and evolution together, and then we just thought this was a great way to do it. And we were thrilled with the amount of submissions that came in, the thought that went into some of the submissions. 4,600, it took a long time to read them all. But you know, because some people put paragraphs of explanations, and it was just amazing. So,
this is the first time in my career that I've gone to an unveiling, and so for some of you who know that I'm a pharmacist, I started a pharmacy on Greenbrook Drive in Kitchener in 1995, and we were trying to figure out a name also. I didn't know you could do this. We just called it Greenbrook Pharmacy because it was on Greenbrook Drive.
Well, you know, first of all, we love the city of Kitchener. It's a great city, great market. So when this came available, we looked at it long and hard. It was challenging with the existing structure and stuff, so we weren't sure if it would work. And then, you know, the more we got into it, the more we just, fell in love with the site. Not very often do you have a canvas of 27 acres in the core of a great city to work with. So, sitting down with our planners and architects, we really started to bring a vision together, a real vibrant community. And so once we, saw that vision came alive, we thought this is wonderful. So.
And now we are into the development name. And so as you heard, there were many, many great submissions and choices. And the successful development name is The Mets. The Mets. Recognizing JM's mother's family. And the winner is Madeline Braun.
It feels really good. We were really surprised, relieved, and very excited to hear about it and get the news. I saw it first on Twitter, and then my grandparents actually met at Schneider's, and I've had family that worked at Schneider's, so it kind of means a lot to my family. It feels really, really good. We're so excited. Ella's so excited. We're just keep thinking about what we're going to do with all that money, and yeah.
Obviously the Schneider site is an important piece of land right in the central part of our city. It has such a long history in the community, and now with it being repurposed into a multi-use district of residential, commercial, and other uses, it's going to, I think, continue to be a great place to live, work, and play in, built on the legacy of the J.M. Schneider plant.
The Sanderson Centre in Brantford is celebrating their 100th anniversary this year and have announced their 2019-2020 season.
He says he's just doing his rock and roll duty, but I say Kim Mitchell still puts on a hell of a show. And our next artist is rock royalty. We'll get to see him once again up close and alone, Burton Cummings. Some of the big ticket items are our Centennial Gala. We've got the Tenors coming. It's their first time in Brantford. We've also got an Australian dance company called Bangara. They'll be bringing a work in here in November. And we've got some great favorites like Burton Cummings and Howie Mandel as well. Grease. And from the last year of it being a movie theater, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. We've done a lot of enhancements this year, and we were just lucky that they were all done in time for our centennial. And that does include things like alcohol and improved ticketing experience, so that people can actually pick the tickets they want online instead of needing to be in at the box office.
To be at the Sanderson Centre is one of the gifts in my life. It's one of the most beautiful theaters that I've ever been in, and the acoustics here are phenomenal, and a lot of the performers are coming back that were here the first time that truly are enjoying the opportunity to perform here again.
part of our centennial season, we're creating a new member program. And one of the benefits of being a member is that you can pay by installments for your tickets. So you can purchase them up front, get the great seats you want, and then just pay for them monthly. Our members and patrons are purchasing their tickets as we speak. Everyone else from the public that isn't a member can start purchasing starting June 28th at noon.
Your Region This Week continues right after the break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. 519 Sports Online shows us the action-packed game of the Cambridge Lions versus the Burlington Stampeders. Let's take a look at how the game played out.
Let's go there, let's go. Let's go.
An important game for the Cambridge Lions junior varsity team in their push for a playoff spot. The Lions hitting the field on Sunday afternoon with a record of 1 win and 3 losses this season. They were facing the Burlington Stampeders, who also came in with a record of 1 and 3 this year. First quarter, the Lions defense with a good start. Con Gooder breaks through and he takes down Logan Belisario in the backfield. That's a 9-yard loss after a good tackle by Gooder. Later, Stampeders quarterback Isaiah Smith looking long, and how good is that catch by Ben Walker? He goes up and gets it. Burlington in the red zone trying to open the scoring, but things don't go as planned. The ball is on the turf. It's a fumble. Kyle Courts pounces on it and recovers for the Lions. The game was scoreless after the opening quarter. To the second, and it's the Stampeders finding the end zone. Jack Dyer with a 5-yard run for the first touchdown of the game. The extra point was no good, so the Stamps with a 4-point advantage. It's 6-2. Later, the Lions with possession. Ethan Evely rolling to his left, and the pass is picked off by Andy Quinn. Burlington takes over possession near midfield, and they are looking to extend the lead before the half is over. But the Lions defense with other ideas. Riley Wiseman-Corkum having himself a day. That's a great tackle. Cambridge is trailing 6-2 at the break. First possession of the third quarter. Jack Dyer taking the handoff, and he goes up the middle for a big gain. The Stampeders running back galloping 30 yards down to the 11-yard line. Burlington in the red zone, and on the very next play, it's Dyer again. He caps off the drive, going 11 yards for the major. Dyer and the home side with a 10-point lead. It's 12-2 Stampeders. Still in the third, it's another huge run by Jack Dyer. He finds a lane, breaks a couple of tackles, and he gets the ball down to the 2-yard line. The Stampeders on the doorstep, but once again, Riley Wiseman-Corkum coming through for the Lions. He stuffs the run, and the Stamps come away with nothing. They turn it over on downs. Burlington is up 14-2 after 3. Early in the fourth, it's a handoff to Logan Belisario, and he scampers 18 yards to the house. The Stampeders starting to pull away. They have a 21-2 lead over the Lions. Cambridge now looking to strike. Ethan Evely with a deep ball. Spencer Speakman with the catch, and he is tripped up at the last second. Otherwise, he would have been off to the races. Jacob Lyon just getting a piece of Speakman's shoelace to stop a touchdown. But how good is this? Next play, Evely looking for Speakman again. He's got it, and this time Speakman is going to score. That's a 36-yard touchdown and a nice way to close out the game for the Lions. They end up falling by a final score of 21-10 to the Stampeders. Cambridge dropping to 1-4 this season. Here is Spencer Speakman after the game talking about his touchdown.
When I got tackled, I was kind of annoyed. So I thought I had it, and then I got tackled. The next play, we just called the same play. And I just caught it again and ran for the touchdown.
With the Ion up and running, riders should be able to get to their destinations quickly. However, with the recent incidents involving vehicles, some are hesitant on the Ion idea. We spoke with the region about these incidents and how they can be prevented.
So over the last few weeks, we've had some collisions with a train and vehicles. Right now, it seems to be that all of them have one common theme, which is that a vehicle driver has made an improper move and has crossed paths with a train. The biggest issue is ignoring signs or failing to yield to the train when making a turn. The biggest thing that drivers can do to prevent this is be mindful of where you are. So the rules of the road haven't changed, but it's important to look at signs and signals. Some of those have changed at intersections, so we want to make sure that we look at those and be mindful of what the restrictions are in place. The region has active enforcement with our regional police departments. We also have safety videos and postings that we share. We have news media commercials that we also run. So we have done quite a bit to get the word out, but I think the biggest thing is to make sure that vehicles, people get out actually on the alignment and get a test run for themselves and get familiar with the route. A very safe system. There's a lot of safety features on board the train, and it's a very smooth ride. So, you know, most cases and most trips, everything goes very well. It's just these odd incidences that we have where unfortunately a driver has missed a sign or has failed to yield to a train that incident occurs. With any system and with any city, there's always incidents that occur, so we try and minimize everything we can. It's important though for vehicle drivers, for motorists, to be aware of where they are in their surroundings and be extra careful around Ion trains. That'll help us have a successful launch and right through the summer and from there. Your Region This Week returns right after this. See you soon. Welcome back. 570 News' Mike Farwell spoke with the organizer of a movement aimed at reducing the amount of catcalling in the region.
Sidewalk Chalk ain't just for the kids anymore. Although, if I may editorialize for another moment, it may be used to curb juvenile behavior. There's a new campaign that has launched in downtown Kitchener aimed at bringing an end to and perhaps drawing more awareness to street harassment. Very pleased to be joined by Casey Politano, who is a violence prevention educator with the Sexual Assault Support Centre of Waterloo Region. Casey, really appreciate your time. Good morning.
Good morning.
What does chalk on the sidewalk in downtown Kitchener do for ending street harassment?
So as part of the event that we had last Friday, we had a conversation here at the center about street harassment and catcalling and what that looks like and feels like for folks. And then we went out and we took some chalk and we went down in a group to downtown Kitchener, and we wrote on the streets messages that could inform people about what that does feel like and what the impact of catcalling actually can be on someone. So we wrote stuff to create awareness, stuff like a hashtag that we started, hashtag Stop Catcalling KW, as well as stuff like women aren't out on the street for entertainment, and don't tell me to smile, and stuff like that. So we're hoping that it created not only solidarity for the people that have experienced this, but also a little bit of education for the people that might feel inclined to actually participate in the catcalling.
What is the impact of catcalling?
So we've heard a number of things. In my position here at the Sexual Assault Support Center, what I do is I go out and I talk to people in the community. So I go and I talk to people in high schools and universities and the college and any organization that invites me in. And what I overwhelmingly hear is that this is a very scary and possibly traumatic experience for people. We don't know the experiences that people have around gendered violence, especially a stranger walking down the street. And so for many people, it can be super scary, not only just the catcall, but people don't really know what might come after that. So we don't know if it's just that catcall or if that person might become angry that we're not answering them. And so it can ruin someone's day. And I've also heard that it has the potential to change someone's daily routine. People that might take one path to work or school might change their path because they have had that experience of being catcalled on that particular street.
You know, I'm so supportive, Casey, of this whole idea because, you know, the older I get, the more juvenile the behavior becomes. It just even sounds awful. And yet, it wasn't 2 weeks ago that I was idly flipping channels one night and came across a sitcom. And in that particular episode that I stopped at and began to watch for a little bit, a woman came home from work and was very upset that the construction crew down the street didn't even say a word to her as she passed by. So she was feeling really low to the point that her husband, again, recognizing this is a sitcom, but he went out and told them, the next time my wife passes by, make sure you hoot and holler more so she feels better. If we're dealing with that sort of culture still in mainstream media, how do we combat it at the ground level like you're trying to do?
Yeah, so this is something that we always see in media, right? So we see that on TV, we see it in movies, we see this normalization of gendered violence and almost like a romanticizing of it. And so I can say that from what I've heard, that isn't an experience that women and trans people feel by being catcalled. But there are absolutely some people that might feel a little like ego boost from getting that catcall, but overwhelmingly that's not the case. I think that the best thing that we can do right now is go out and do outreach and talk to people and have these conversations, because if we're seeing this in the media and we're watching TV shows and this is being normalized, then of course we're going to think that's the way it should be.
Where did the idea of writing messages with street chalk come from?
So I think chalking has been a big part of like activist culture for a really long time, because it's a nice way to put your message out there and have a ton of people see it in a bright, colorful way. And we took that on because we thought that it would be a really great, cheap and easy and fun way to get a group of people together. We did this event in partnership with Ellisburg and Ask, which are different organizations that exist at Laurier. So the Advocates for a Student Culture of Consent and the Laurier Student Public Interest Research Group, along with Male Allies here at SASC. And Male Allies in the past have gone out and done similar stuff like this. So it just creates a nice, fun way for us to get out and do this together.
Your Region This Week will be right back after these messages. Welcome back. Now that the region has started the ION service from Fairway to Conestoga, the region would like to remind riders on how to board and disembark the trains.
So we're here today to show people what the new light rail vehicles look like and some of our new customer information tools such as maps and our new fare machines, which we've got working today, so people can see how they would pay their fare on the platform to board the train. So ION is a rapid transit line, so it stops less frequently than a bus. It has its own lane, so it's separate from traffic. And it has longer vehicles with more capacity than a bus. So this is really an elevated transit experience, something that we only see in large cities right now in Canada, like Toronto or Ottawa. So this is really, we're hoping, going to put us on the map with a more premium service for riders. First step to getting on is to have a valid fare, so you can tap your EasyGo card on a validator on the platform or pay your fare at our new fare machines on the platform. Then you board at any one of the doors along the train. If you need accessible boarding, that's indicated. The doors are indicated with some black areas on the platform as well. And then they board at any one of the doors. They'll open at any station. So here's how to load your EasyGo fare card at an ION platform. Tap I have an EasyGo fare card, then touch your card to the reader. Touch load value on your card, select the amount of money you'd like to load, and then tap your card or insert your card if you have a chip. So ION runs from Conestoga Station in Waterloo all the way down to Fairway Station in Kitchener. So it connects Conestoga Mall and Fairview Park Mall, but also uptown Waterloo, downtown Kitchener, and the universities as well. So really some of the most major destinations in our region are linked by ION. So we're hoping people get a good look and feel for what the ION trains are like, as well as how they would pay a fare at our new machines on the platform. And we're also giving out our new EasyGo fare card, just another place people can get those cards ahead of launch, because we'll only be accepting the new EasyGo cards. No more tickets once ION launches.
That's it for another episode of Your Region This Week. Now that the ION is running, we would just like to remind you all to make sure you pay attention to your surroundings. The trains are quiet and can approach quickly without you knowing. If you would like more information on the ION, visit Grand River Transit's website, grt.ca/IONsafety. For more information on the show, or if you have any story ideas, visit rogerstv.com and fill out the forms at the bottom of the page. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.